Hi friends, this is a completely unplanned post, but it's something I'm thinking and feeling in the moment, so I felt like I needed to take just a minute and speak my mind and tell the truth about this. This is for all you young mamas out there that feel like you're completely in a war zone. And I was reminded of that this morning as I was conversing with a young mama friend of mine, and we're just trying to find a few minutes to phone call and catch up. And and one opportunity after the next is kind of passed by because of her life right now. I can't believe the energy and the sacrificing that you put out every single day. And I just want to take a moment to just almost feel like I need to have a moment of silence for you. And we should do that often because we should be praying for you. You are in a war zone. And I know it feels like it's never going to end. Just a few texts before that, we were chatting about the sleeplessness of one of her little ones at night, and then having to function the next day, and her text like, I feel like my kids hate me. Okay, I can relate with that. I remember, and you are in a war zone, and I want to be an older woman that's just encouraging you to go forward. I know how hard it is. You know, soldiers, when they go in a war zone, they're trained for months by a general that is telling them what's expected of them and getting them ready for that war zone. They're trained for it. When we go into motherhood, we don't usually have much training for it. And somehow we have this warped conception that we're going to be the general. But you are on the front lines. And one thing I've noticed too, that when a soldier comes out of the war zone, there's kind of two types. One is the type that just doesn't want to talk about it anymore. It was a horrible experience. They thought they were going to die daily, and they don't want to talk about it at all. And then there's others that come out of the war zone, and they're really open and willing to talk about it, and they get involved with veterans so that they can encourage and relate and put their arms around them and say, I know where you've been. I know how it feels. You're going to make it. I want to be that kind of soldier. I don't want to be the soldier that comes out of the war zone and forgets about you who are still in the war zone. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. You are on the front line doing war right now. So I want to say to you that you are raising this next generation. We all see the problems in each of our generations. You are pouring your life into the next generation, and it is worth it. It is worth it. All of us are going to benefit from what you're pouring into your children right now. You're in that space of life where you are learning self-sacrifice like no other time of life. You really are. I believe it is God's plan for us as women. This is where we learn to put others first because we have to. This is where we learn to nurture and love even when we are dying inside. This is where we learn to forgive because we have to do it 1,000 times a day with our kids, don't we? This is where you are in training for the rest of your life, and you are going to come out. You are going to come out so strong and valiant and pure and lovely because of the self-sacrificing time that you're going through right now. Older women, I want to say to you, man, if you are forgetting what it was like, go jump in the middle of somebody's chaos right now without judgment. Don't jump in there with this pious attitude like, oh, I did it like this, or I would do it like that. Come on, which one of us really knew what we were doing raising our kids? Which ones of us don't look back and say, oh, I wish I would have thought of this, and I wish I would have thought of that, and I wish. That's why we make good grandparents, right? Because we learned from our mistakes. So don't jump in the middle of it with judgment. Jump in the middle of it with compassion, and knowing that that young mama needs your encouragement, just like those soldiers that go to the veterans. Put your arms around them and love them. Don't try to solve all their problems because you're not going to be able to. Don't you remember what it was like? That's the time when I was on my knees constantly because I did not know what to do next. So encourage. And young mamas, You know, I know you have so much information out there on the internet, and I know there's so many books for you to read. When I was raising my kids, there was like Dr. Dobson and the Berenstain Bears. That's pretty much all the input I got, and my good mama, who gave me a lot of good input on raising my kids. Try to shut a lot of that off, young mamas. It's only going to put more pressure on you. Just try to shut all of that off and find a trusted voice or two that is encouraging to you, and don't hear what they have to say as yelling through a megaphone at you. No, you need to put down your pride too and listen with open hearts and open ears to those few trusted older women that you trust. Find some that you trust and that you know love you, because all of us older women, we can say snarky things, right? Okay, find the ones that you trust and ask questions. Older women, keep your mouth shut unless you're asked. That's my advice. Younger women, ask the older women and listen to them without hearing them through a megaphone. Young mamas, we're for you. We love you. We remember it is a war zone. We are veterans of that war zone. We do remember. We do remember. We love you. We encourage you. We are praying you through this. And we really bow down to you because of where you're at. Be encouraged. Love you so much.